quarter of a mile, at Wagoners Roundabout, take the second exit onto the Parkway, A312. Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway. Continue on the Parkway for 1 mile.
It sounds like it was probably all over pretty quickly. I see a tweet here from Chris Bryant, a Labour MP. This is appalling. People were shouting all sorts at Keir, including Jimmy Savile.
In a quarter of a mile, at Cranford Parkway interchange, take the second exit onto the M4 slip road to Heathrow Airport, M25.
People I heard shouting about Jimmy Savile, which has obviously been a sort of touchstone issue in the past week, ever since Boris Johnson accused Keir in the House of Commons of failing to prosecute Jimmy Savile. He was Director of Public Prosecutions.
Jack, thank you for that. Jack Elson, political reporter for The Sun. Chris Bryant went on to tweet, "This is what happens when a Prime Minister descends into the gutter and recycles lies from hard-right conspiracy theories. Political poison has an effect. Johnson has no moral compass." As you say, that Scotland Yard say 2 arrests were made after that incident. Shortly after 5:10 p.m, a man who had been surrounded by a group of protesters near to New Scotland Yard was taken away from the scene by a police car, say the police. A man and a woman were arrested at the scene for assault of an emergency worker after a traffic cone was thrown at a police officer. They have been taken into custody. Those are all the details we have at the moment. Now let's carry on.
Exit the roundabout onto the slip road.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M4.
My son-in-law are both Austro-Romani travellers. They're both settled in the UK. They both pay their taxes like anybody else. He's paid his taxes in the UK all his life, my partner, and also my son-in-law. My partner's father was a Romani. He bought a plot of land in Henley and he built his own house. And they lived there quite happily. My partner went to school in Henley, but he was bullied at school for being a gypsy. Eddie, because it's offensive. And they've, they sort of try to just hide away, basically. We've moved to a little village now, where we've got no neighbours, and we're quite happy because we're both retired now. It's like they've had this persecution, and his mother and father did when they first come to the UK, because they were living in a caravan, they were all a certain word. One day my partner was telling me that his mother has some nice rings and necklaces and things like that, And they said, where do you rob them from, Accosted her in the street, said, where did you rob them from? That sort of thing goes on, I think.
Why do you think it seems to be acceptable for some people to not just think this stuff? I suppose people are entitled to their thoughts, but to say it out loud.
Yeah, but the thing is, they get away with it because it's a minority group, and it's fair game. I mean, let's face it, they're turning on LGBT people now because they've got nobody else to have a go at, So that's the next thing is they go on to somebody else.
Martin, thank you. Here's Jan. Hi, Jan. Welcome.
Hello, I'm sorry to send you background noise, but I'm outside, so my sincere apologies. I had to ring in. My heart absolutely went out to that young man in tears. I totally get where he's coming from. My suggestion is do your ancestry DNA. Just a couple of things. I already knew my nan's history and my grandpa's history. My grandfather was Romany. My grandmother's lineage was from Jewish. Her mum was Jewish, married a Christian. We are a mixed melting pot, and going back in time, I have great Nigerian grandparents who were taken from Nigeria, stolen, put onto the plantation in Jamaica, and they were brought over to Suffolk to work as slaves in Suffolk, in England, for the slave owners. And I speak with this accent. I'm often accused of going to private school. I've never been to private school in my life. On top of that, my grandfather, who was Romany, was very respected where he grew up, where he lived. He had his own businesses. He was very, very heavily involved in
a quarter of a mile, keep right to stay on M4.
the FA Cup rules to the country. He ran that after Ebenezer Morley, who ran it in 1960. Ebenezer Morley brought the cup rules in. My grandfather ran it. He also had an organisation called, I won't say what it is if you don't mind. He raised £500,000 for the wounded soldiers
Keep right to stay on M4.
on the outskirts of London, which today would be worth about 2 million, and not 10 million, my apologies. And on top of that, he worked closely with Dame Vera Lynn, Clement Attlee's wife, and various other dignitaries.
So you've got this very, very rich heritage which you've taken the time and trouble to look into and understand. Your grandfather was Roman.
My grandfather was Roma. He had his own businesses, and when I was a child, I used to see Roma come up and chat to him. Obviously, I was young. I didn't quite understand, because when you're about 9, you just talk to people and chat away, And when he died, he had at least 300 people at his funeral. His father had his own, who was Roma, had his own trolley bus. Unfortunately, cab, my apologies. When the trolley bus came out, sadly, he could no longer run his cab. So he worked for the local council for many, many years. When he died, he had local dignitaries from the council coming to his funeral. I've got all the newspaper cuttings, I've got all the evidence. And if you're interested, we are bringing back Barnes Football Club, the home of the FA Cup rules. It's coming home. So there you go, right? We want to give back to my grandfather, the absolute, and others who kept that football club going, and Elliot Morley. But my grandfather was a humble Roma, and his wife, my beautiful nan, was a humble daughter of a Jewish family, Jewish heritage.
And I think they'd be very proud of you, Jan, for the work you've done and are clearly still doing. Andrew says, to give an example of the sort of discrimination we as gypsies suffer, my wife sent CVs out to companies with our address
quarter of a mile, keep right to stay on M4.
They changed the name, and they explained to me where the Roman is originated from because they're the oldest refugees on the world. They actually came from India, and his family was settled in Egypt for a long time. And in the 1800s, they came to Britain.
Keep right to stay on M4. Continue on M4 for 4 miles.
Hearing this from Gypsy, an Irish traveller, people, Roma. If that's you, tell me about you and tell me what it's like to live with what sounds like pretty rampant discrimination. 0345 6060 973 at 6:45. Tim Humphrey has the headlines.
Boris Johnson has denied any rift with the Chancellor after reports tensions between them are behind delays into NHS plans. Diplomatic talks are being held in Washington and Moscow to try to ease tensions between Russia and Ukraine. The service of Thanksgiving for the life of the Duke of Edinburgh will be held at Westminster Abbey on March the 29th. And the weather breezy and mild in the south tonight, some rain for a time, westerly showers further north, a low of 2.
LBC Travel, I'm Dave. Garth Darkies on the M3 northbound. All traffic's being held because of an accident at junction 1 for Sunbury. It's very slow on the M25 clockwise after a car broke down earlier on between junction 28 for the A12 and junction 29 for Romford. In Hammersmith, it's slow on the A315 Hammersmith Road. It's partly blocked in both directions at Shortlands. That's because of an accident. It's slow on the North Circular Road heading northbound. There's a lane blocked at the Beckton roundabout because a car has broken.
In 2 miles, at junction 6, take the A355 exit to Slough Central.
Between West Croydon and Sutton because of a fault with the track. At Greater Anglia, they're running buses between Southminster and Wickford because a train has broken down.
Coming up at 7 on LBC, Ian Dale.
Sir Keir Starmer and David Lammy have had to be rescued from an angry mob by police. They were shouting paedophile protector at him. Evening, Prime Minister.
Ian Dale on LBC.
Car owners, do you want the good news or the good news? Well, the good news is that Go Compare have now refunded over £2.5 million under their free excess cover deal. The other good news is that Go Compare now offer a deal like that on home insurance. So whether you're after insurance or insurance, it's nothing but good news from Go Compare. Excess refunded after claim settled. Exclusions and T's and C's apply.
Call Eddie Mayer 0345 6060 973. This is LBC.
If you want to lose weight, it's not about getting it right, but getting started. Healthy changes start with little changes, one way or another, and help you to feel better inside and out. So you'll be healthier and more able to fight diseases. Download the free NHS weight loss app. Better health. Let's do this.
From romantic red roses to thoughtful gifts for all the saints in your life. Zingflowers.com. Amazing every Valentine's. If you're a landlord, you've got a lot to think about. Let Science Hair take one worry off your mind. We're the rent guarantee specialists, guaranteeing your rent from
In 1/4 mile, at junction 6, take the A355 exit to Slough Central.
completely free of charge. Visit
Exit at junction 6.
The future. We fit air source heat pumps and solar panels, as well as conventional boilers. And we help our customers create a greener...
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Tons Lane, A355.
We are looking for customer service advisors and engineers of any discipline to join our team. For more information, visit swaleheating.com. Swale Heating. Rely on us to keep you warm.
Exit the roundabout onto Tons Lane. In a quarter of a mile, turn left towards Sippenham Lane. Turn left towards Sippenham Lane. Continue for 1.5 miles.